How's it going, everybody? This is Pat from JetCast. I got sent this video by a couple viewers. It is the morning show opening of Boomer and Gio here in New York on wfan, where they talk about Aaron Rodgers and his isolation retreat. They talk about Derek Carr possibly going to the Saints, and they talk about all the different Jets options at the moment, and how they're dwindling. So I think it'd be cool if we sat and watched it together. I can give you my live reaction to it. I haven't seen the video just yet, but let's get into it. All right, so here is the video. Let's get it going.
Well, I'm going to go into a darkness retreat for 4 days when I go home.
You and Aaron Rodgers are here.
Reflect on all of this.
I like the new.
And where is he doing this darkness?
No, this is not a new setup.
Retreat.
I don't know. I mean, he's. I don't think he's going back to Peru to do the ayahuasca. He said so. It's probably somewhere that's out of the country.
Right,
I would assume, but I don't know.
They're in
and
Arizona.
They slide food under the door,
the Super
and he
Bowl,
sits
obviously.
there, and it's just him and himself, and that's it. The whole thing. So I'm just picturing like the meditation music that you would hear. Like you ever go you go to like spas and stuff.
So there's no Wi-Fi.
Right, like you hear when you walk in, you're getting massaged somewhere, and you're just.
So it's just sitting in isolation, meditation, dealing with your thoughts. It stimulates DMT, so there can be some hallucinations in there, but it's just kind of sitting in silence, which most of us never do. We rarely even turn our phone off or put the blinds down to sleep in darkness. Okay.
This is Aaron Rodgers in the dark, meditating, waiting for an answer from his guru, you know?
Yeah.
Aaron, you've got a big decision to make.
Go to the Jets. Go to the Jets. Go to the Jets.
Go to the Jets.
You've got options.
Go to the Jets. Go to the Jets.
You
Go
can
to the
go
Jets.
to Las Vegas, where it's a no-tax state, and you're there in one of the entertainment capitals of the world.
Go to the Jets. Go to the Jets.
Let's talk about that for a second. A no tax state. I think, and this is my own personal opinion, that the salary cap should be adjusted for tax states, because it really puts teams like the Jets and the Giants at a disadvantage when trying to sign free agents. I think the last I saw was Aaron Rodgers would actually lose $11 million just in state taxes alone. That is absurd. And any free agent has to take that into account when wanting to come to New York, New Jersey for that matter.
And you're
Go to the
close
Jets.
to California. Or you could get taxed through your ass.
There it
on the
is,
East
tax through your
Coast,
ass.
in the lovely state of New Jersey,
Go to the Jets. Go to the Jets. Go to the
where
Jets.
you play in a shared stadium with the New York Giants. And you have a coach who has no idea what he's doing. And then your old coach who rode you.
I wouldn't say
like you
Robert
were
Saleh has
Seattle
no idea
Slew
what he's doing.
to a head coaching job.
Go to the Jets. Go to the Jets.
You think that the lights come on and he's like,
We're going to the Jets.
we're going to the Jets?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not.
And I would say that there's a very good chance that
When
Derek
you put it
Carr's
like
gonna
that,
be off
though,
the market.
Yeah.
Okay, the Derek
sounds
Carr's going to
pretty
be off the
bad.
market.
You
What
think
is
he's going to be
this?
off the market?
Maybe it sounds like that because he has given.
Is this what he's doing? I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. 5-step cleanse. 12-day cleanse, 5 steps. Induce a severe spell of vomiting to clean upper gut. Forced diarrhea that purges and cleanses the bowel. Medicated enema used to cleanse the accumulated toxins through the colon. Nasal administration of medicated oil to cleanse the accumulated toxins. And finally, a procedure done to cleanse the blood. Is this actually what he's doing? Or are they making a joke here? It's probably what he's doing. This sounds terrible. Why would anybody want to do this?
He's allowed now to talk to the New Orleans Saints. So remember I was telling you that the Raiders still could trade Derek Carr up to a certain point. I think it's like February 16th or whatever it is. And that if they work out a trade, that would mean the team that's trading for him would have the first opportunity to talk to him about a contract extension. So it sounds to me like the Saints are looking at where they are sitting, in the draft, what could be available, and that they are going to make a 5-year or 4 or 5 year commitment to Derek Carr, and they don't want him on the open market. See what I'm saying? So that's why they're trading for him. So maybe it's a 3rd round pick or a 2nd round pick or whatever.
And that's why they're visiting with him, because they obviously don't want to give up a pick and him not sign with them.
But they would not trade that pick.
And he has a no trade clause, so he can block any trade that the Raiders are going to do. So he has to be comfortable with the situation that he's going to. Now, yeah, he can make more money on the open market, but if the Saints make him a good offer and say this is going to be your contract and we'll sign you to an extension, then and he wants to go to New Orleans, then there's really nothing. There's no reason why he would block a trade like that.
To talk to Derek Carr, it would be if Derek Carr agrees to a contract, then they would agree to make the trade, and then Derek becomes the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, and that makes complete sense to me because that's one of the teams that is outside, the top 10 when it comes to drafting.
These numbers are shockingly
they need
similar.
A starting quarterback of significance, and they're
Completion
probably
percentage is
convinced
not,
themselves
but
that Derek Carr should be their guy. So that's exactly what the Raiders and Derek Carr are doing right now. It sounds like, okay, hey, I would love to go play for New Orleans. Let's see what New Orleans wants to do for me in terms of contract. So maybe they say, hey, look, we'll give you 5 years, $160, $170 million, something like that, and you're our starting quarterback. And that seems to be the way that thing is now going.
Well, one of the things I read yesterday, because a lot of people were jumping to the conclusion that, he's definitely going to the Saints now because of the first team that he's talking to, is that he's really going to go through this process, that this is the first step in many steps of where he's going to go to check things out. That was one thing that I read from a Raiders person yesterday. Now, I don't know if that person is right, but
he doesn't have to. He could say to the Raiders,
look at this list of available QBs. Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Pick 1 and 3 in the 2018 draft. It's kind of shocking that it's come to this for the two of them. And we got 3 ex-Jets on there. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is kind of an ex-Jet. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 4 ex-Jets on this list.
Ben, you're not trading me to anybody. I'm waiting until I get to free agency. So this is a case where the Saints probably want to be able to talk to Derek and say, look, we want you. We want you to be our quarterback, and here is our offer for you.
Yeah.
And we want to get out in front of everybody so you don't get the free agency. And then if Derek accepts what the Saints are offering him and he wants to go there, then the Saints will make the trade with the Raiders, and the Raiders will get something out of it. He doesn't have to do this if he doesn't want to. The fact that he is doing it, and the fact that this is, it seems like it's going and it's moving in that direction, that means that the Saints are giving him what I would consider a legitimate offer. I'm telling you, coming to the Jets with him, he doesn't want to come here because the Jets still have hopes out that Zach Wilson may become something. For the Jets, it's got to be like an Aaron Rodgers 2-year type of thing, a Baker Mayfield 2-year type of thing.
This is a mess.
An Andy Dalton 2-year type of thing.
It is a mess.
This is officially a mess because
that's what we're talking about.
Every day that goes by, it's less and less likely that Aaron Rodgers becomes a Jet, which is something I never believed was going to happen. Now you're telling me Derek Carr's not going to look at the Jets as a desirable destination, and we're going to be stuck
Why
with
would
all these
anybody
other
look
guys
at the
that we were
Jets as a
talking
desirable
about.
situation?
Baker Mayfield, Andy Dalton, whoever the hell else.
I mean, we
is
have
out there,
a lot of young
and
players.
Zach Wilson on the roster,
That's
or
about
maybe
it.
they actually go back and start Mike White. I don't. I mean, this is where we're at now.
These are all options on the table, and really, what it comes down to, also, I would imagine from the Jets' perspective, how aggressive does Woody Johnson want Joe Douglas to be?
I mean, aggressive with a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
Right. So it also could be. Don't forget, Jimmy Garoppolo's going to be out there.
Oh God, please no. Please no.
But that's who we're talking about. Doesn't seem like it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. As we sit here this morning, it does not look like it's going to be Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr. Now, could that change if the Jets do something to change the way that the perception is right now? That could be the case, but it sounds like the Saints right now have identified Derek Carr as their guy. So in order to keep him from going to free agency, they have to make the trade with the Raiders and give Derek Carr the contract that he wants. And then Derek Carr's got to sit there and also say, okay, where are the potential landing spots for me where I can get the most term and the most money?
Yeah, and then the options after that are just
Carolina. It's the Saints.
Yeah, right. So yeah, those two for Derek Carr are probably better places than the Jets, I'm sure. And if the Raiders, I know that Derek Carr wants to be a free agent, but if somehow,
if the Jets don't make any sort of, I mean, maybe they are, and we're not hearing it, but the Saints are clearly talking with the Raiders, and they've invited Derek Carr out to visit with them. If the Jets aren't even trying to do that, then either they think they just have absolutely no shot at Derek Carr, or they have some sort of back channel and they know that they're going to be getting Aaron. If that's not the case, then it is a failure on all accounts. They have to be in on Derek Carr. There's no way you can't be. Now, you would hope Derek Carr is just doing his due diligence, and yes, the Saints would be the first team that he's meeting with. But if his mind is set and he's happy with the contract, then there's no reason for him to want to drag it out. And honestly, would you rather live in New Orleans or would you rather live in New Jersey? I know where I'd rather live.
How the Raiders end up hanging on and want compensation back. That makes it even harder for them to want to trade him within the conference. And those other two teams we just talked about are NFC teams. Now, I know it's not the same as Aaron Rodgers because they're done with Derek Carr and they shouldn't necessarily care about where he goes, but we've seen this stuff in the past.
Well, he has this contract that has this kind of unique ending to it. And, they can trade him, and then instead of the Saints meeting what the contract stipulates, the Saints will tear up his contract with the Raiders and start with a whole new contract. And remember, it starts with the guaranteed money, and it's going to be a big number. And if the Saints have identified him as their starting quarterback for the next 5 years, then this is a smart thing to do.
Yeah, and I heard, was it Garrett Wilson with Maggie and Perloff yesterday saying that he would be crying tears of joy if Aaron Rodgers joined.
Everybody would be crying tears of joy if Aaron Rodgers became a Jet.
That is an Aaron Rodgers.
Everybody would
that
be.
A rookie wide receiver would say that in lieu of a second-year quarterback on his own team that was the second overall draft pick.
No one cares what Zach thinks. They already wore Mike White shirts.
Zach Wilson?
Oh, I read where
on a plane.
Gardner said yesterday that Zach Wilson was a great teammate.
Right, sure. Well, that's what he's saying now
But
after he liked that tweet.
Right.
He essentially liked the tweet of Zach Wilson sucks and then pretended like he didn't like that tweet. So we know what Sauce thinks about Zach Wilson.
I mean, there's all sorts of stuff going on right now.
Thank you for...
Yeah, there's all sorts of things going on right now, and it could very easily become a real shit show for the Jets if we're not in on Carr. They have to do the due diligence. They have to make the phone call. They have to see what Derek would want in a contract, and you're going to have to pay a premium there because of the state taxes and because of the fact that it's just New Jersey and that it is the Jets and we have this stigma. If we don't end up with Aaron Rodgers, if we are waiting for Aaron Rodgers and we lose out on Derek Carr, and then we don't get Aaron Rodgers and we end up with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's going to get hurt halfway through the season, and we're going to be back on Zach Wilson. There are other quarterbacks out there, but the only two quarterbacks that make sense right now are Aaron Rodgers and Derek Carr, and there is a big drop-off from the two of them to the rest of the field. You can't tell me that you're going to bring in Baker Mayfield in here for 2 years and Zach Wilson's going to sit under him and learn. You can't tell me that you're going to bring in Geno Smith, which Geno's not going to probably leave Seattle, but Lamar's off the table. No way is Baltimore going to be letting Lamar go. So they have to act now. They have to get in contact with Carr's team. I would hope that they've at least tried after seeing what the Saints are doing. And if the draft capital that the Raiders want, which was reported was a third-round pick, you do that in a heartbeat and you pay Derek Carr whatever the hell he wants to get paid, because you have a team on you have a team full of rookies on rookie contracts. Yes, you have to pay Quinn and Williams, but you can still do that and pay Derek Carr. So, thanks for watching with me. Thanks for hearing my rant. We'll have some more content coming out, some shorts coming out as the situation progresses. Do me a favor, and if you like the content, please subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for your support, and go Jets.